Good day, it's Verson Bull. I hail Carib-Sport. It's been a while since I did some videos. I thought, look, I'll free time now, fight up a little thing for you. Plenty action going on in Trinidad. Plenty action. So a quickie. Yeah, boy, I know something. Can't remember all this. We're going to take a look at the CFU Shield Tournament that took place in Trinidad recently. Some movements with Trinidad and Tobago players. Guyana, an emerging force in Caribbean football and Caribbean sport in general. The importance of sports tourism in Trinidad and Tobago, and a quick look at the upcoming CFU Championships with Defence Force playing next week, and of course the imminent World Cup qualifiers in early September. So let's get to it. Well, the CFU Shield tournament took place in Trinidad and Tobago. What can I tell you? We had Police FC and we had AC Port of Spain, two home teams in the tournament. And they had the ignominy. I went and learned this with it because I always reading it. I never had a chance to see it. I said, let me say it today because when it comes to Trinidad and Tobago football, we have many ignominious experiences. So they experienced the ignominy of playing in this blasted tournament with Martinicans, Guadeloupans, Bajans, Jamaicans, and we couldn't get past the first round. Now, there were four groups. Each group had 6 teams. You didn't play 5 matches. Each team played 2 matches. I believe this is for the sake of expediency, but everybody had the same problem. Long story short, AC Port of Spain and Police did not get into the second round, largely because of the Port of Spain, they didn't score enough goals and a goal difference problem. And that is their fault because they played a French club, I believe it was Martinican or Guadeloupe. They played all over them. It was embarrassing 1 point at 1-all. Won the match 2-1. They should have won that match by a minimum 3 goals. 3 goals. Even if they had won by 3 goals, they would have had the same goal difference as the club that won the group. But that other club would have had maybe scored 1 more goal. But that is nobody's fault what AC Port of Spain. They were all over that team and the finishing was terrible. They did very well, beating Arnett Gardens in their next match. Arnett is, I believe, the number 2 team in Jamaica. Not bad for a number 4 team from Trinidad and Tobago. Police now. Police lost their first game against, it's called Weymouth Wales, a Barbadian club. They lost 3-0. Won the next game handily, but it was the loss against the Bajans that kicked them out. Let's understand, to summarize, Police outplayed the opposition, didn't dominate them, and Weymouth Wales just waited and countered. They had a very good left back by the name of Andre Applewhaite. I hear the commentator saying Applewhite, but if Braithwaite is Braithwaite, how the hell Applewhaite is Applewhite? You'll forgive me if I say Applewhaite, correct me if I'm wrong. This guy's a wonderful left back. He's 23 years old. I expect him to get out of Barbados at some point. He's a fine player. He really is. He had a say in almost every goal that was scored against Police. And of course, Weymouth Wales went on to make it to the finals, coming from 3-0 down to narrowly lose 3-2 to Mocha. The Bajans are not spectacular, but they play solid football and they don't give up. And I give them credit. I don't think they were the best team in the competition. But they made it to the finals and at 3-0 down, refused to give up and scored 2 very good goals. So good for you, Barbados. Let's see what you can do in the actual CFU tournament. As we try to Tobago teams finishing, let them down. A little embarrassing, but that's the way it is. Nobody rob us, nobody cheat us. All right. We had the under-15 CFU boys tournament. No, sorry, that's a different. Yes, we had an under-15 CFU boys tournament, and we had a little chaos because this would not be Trinidad and Tobago football if there were not chaos. And what happened? No flights. They announced the team a few days before the competition started. Could not get flights. I don't know much as I've never booked a flight for a football team in my life, but I figured even by yourself or in conjunction with the Ministry of Sport, could you not say reserve, I don't know how many, 22 tickets, whatever it is, and say, look, this is a block, here is a deposit, here's the money, because we go in. We just will give you the names 5 days before the flights take off. We'll give you the name, but here's the money. Is that really that hard to do? If it is, tell me it is hard to do. The other thing is this. Could you not have named the team a little earlier? I do not remember a Trinidad and Tobago football team having this problem in the past. No other team had this problem in the tournament. So how did we end up with this problem? I want to know. Because is it norm to announce teams 5-7 days before the tournament? Go buy tickets? Because how come we didn't get jammed in the past? I want to know. You can't reserve tickets. How does it work? Tell us. So the fans will buff you less and understand the challenges of your job. All right? So regarding this, We played 5 matches in 5 days. We lost one to eventual champions Jamaica, who outplayed us. They were better than us. In our group, we beat Antigua, Bermuda, and Barbados, and everybody was, yes, we make it to the semis. If we have to get on about beating them, it shows you where Trinidad and Tobago football is. And I'll tell you something. I also was a little worried for 2 reasons. One, the stress in getting there, no rest in between matches. And the Trinidad and Tobago football has dropped a bit in the last 10 years, or the Caribbean football in general has risen in the last 25 years. So we can never write off the opposition. So we made it to the semis. We were outplayed by the Jamaicans. The coach made it clear that the lack of rest was not an excuse. Jamaica was a better team. Fair enough. At one point, we scored a goal. Had it not been for the stupid penalty, it could have been 2-1. And I was thinking, if it was 2-1, and we'd had that 1 day rest, could it have made a difference? Could it have made a difference? The better team does not always win a football match. But at the end of the day, Jamaica was the best team in that group. Congratulations to them. If we had gotten Puerto Rico or Guatemala in the semis, we might have made it to finals. And we would have still lose, but finals, I think. And I was pleasantly surprised that we beat the Guatemalans. I didn't expect us to. So good for us. People want to knock the coach. I don't know why they want to knock the coach. We're a schoolboy team, and we were all played by a much better Jamaican team who did well against everybody. They were undefeated. So tough luck to the fellas. I wish them the best of luck. You must be young and strong, boy. 5 matches in 5 days, but okay. Movements in TNT football. Now, I can't call off everybody because I have time for that. Nobody paid me for this, but I want to talk about some key movements, especially players that we should all be looking out for. Rion Moore and Justin Garcia, they have moved over from Defence Force to Vietnam. Lord help me pronouncing this name. The name of the club is Song Lam Ng and FC, henceforth known as SLNA. Rion has not looked the same since he came back from Canada, which is probably why he came back from Canada. Justin Garcia, after his Gold Cup, it was no surprise that he would get a contract. That was just a matter of where. Wishing him the best in Vietnam. Nice food, nice ladies, nice weather. I hear the beaches good too. Beaches. Dwayne Muckett, my boy, still in Oman. He has moved over to Sohar SC. Best of luck to you, Dwayne. Hope to see you on the Trinidad team soon. Andre Raymond, I believe the club he has moved over to is in Finland. Again, forgive me as I pronounce his name, Tamperine Ills or Eves or whatever. So good luck to him in Finland. And we have 2 fellas who have gone over to Guyana. Daryl Zum Garcia from Samoa Jablote and Jean-Haim McPhee from AC Port of Spain. They've joined a club, one of the top clubs in Guyana, or the top club, Slingers FC. And this is why I want to talk about Guyana. I've been meaning to for a while. I was kind of surprised that if we were going to lose Garcia, it was to a club in Guyana. I thought worst case scenario Jamaica, but we'll talk about that just now. McPhee from AC Port of Spain. ESC Port of Spain has been losing a lot of its top players in the last, I would say, 9 to 10 months. If memory serves me correctly, Jean-Paul Rochefort, McPhee, and I'm not leaving out somebody. I believe Dwayne Muckett. I believe these are, okay, correct me, I don't think I'm wrong. These are all AC Port of Spain players. And, when you keep losing players like this, I hope you're getting some good money. I know Club Sandu has a similar situation. Some of the very best players were moving on. And I hope Sandu got some good money because it really affects these clubs and their quality of play. But of course, Defence Force as well, they have a Caribbean Cup coming on. And, they just lost Garcia and more. But we'll talk about that just now. Aaron Anel, a man I believe to be the best goalkeeper out of Trinidad and Tobago right now, which is a hell of a compliment because we have so many good goalkeepers. He has moved on from Montego Bay and he's with Racing United FC. Might have to start watching Jamaican football just because I like this fella so much. And, Vex Tyrese Spicer has gone from Toronto FC to Orlando City FC. Why Vex? Well, 1, I'm in Toronto. 2, I went and bought a ticket specifically to see Toronto play Montreal. 2 Trinis. Spicer versus Dante Cedar. I say, yes. 3 days later, transfers. I said, wait now. On to my match. Well, apparently, they were not aware I bought a ticket and my intention. So I'll be watching 1 Trini. Or maybe some other Trinis in the match. I don't know. Them tickets are expensive. I'm tell you that right now. MSL. That was some money. Well, anyway. So those are over. And Justin Arajo Wilson. Czech second division team, Lord Father. I know Czech, man. The name of this club is FC Vysočina Jilava. And that was my best attempt. Czech Republic have good looking woman too. Best of luck to you, Justin. If you're married, I hope the wife ain't hear that because it's not important. Okay. All right, so that's it. Those are the movements. I know some other players moved, but nobody paid me for this. These were my key movements. Um, I know Matthew Wooling had a movement in Jamaica as well, but I didn't write it down. Sorry, but Matthew is ex Fatima, so respect him because you know where I meant. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we went from that to now Guyana. I've been meaning to mention this in the past. As you guys know, Guyana's economy has been absolutely booming since 2015, and for almost every year of the last 10 years, the number one growing economy in the whole world. They discovered oil in 2010, started to realize the gains 5 years later, and Guyana has a lot of areas to improve in because prior to that, their economy was a devastated one. And so good for them. Good for them. They're finally turning things around. Best of luck to them. Um, so not surprisingly, with money to spend, they're going to spend money in sport and expect the Guyanese to evolve. Just because you have money does not always mean you're going to do great things. Trinidad and Tobago had lots of money in the 70s, but we didn't always keep up with Jamaica in sport. I know he is Lee Crawford, but other than that, we have never usually kept up with the Jamaicans. And our football has been at times anticlimactic. But now the Guyanese have money to implement programs. In the past, they had programs but no money. And I remember twice their technical directors slash coaches walking away from the team because there was no money and to implement the programs that they wanted to, to implement. So expect Guyana to keep evolving. I've always believed that Guyana was just a half a step or a step behind Jamaica and Trinidad, and a lack of money meant a lack of a program, which meant a lack of progress. Lack of money is no longer an excuse, so expect Guyana to keep evolving. I don't know these slingers people if they're fully professional or semi-pro, but you can have a semi-pro club or a quasi-pro club and do very well. So I'm curious to see what Guyana will continue to do in sport. I knew we would be losing players to Guyana. I know we have some others there, just talking about these two. I really did not think, pardon me, we would lose Zoom Zoom Garcia to the Guyanese. He is the top prospect in Trinidad and Tobago today. And I thought if you're going to lose him, Europe, Latin America, maybe Jamaica. I don't know what happened with Samoa. I hope there's some good compensation. And the other top prospect is Sween, also with Samoa. He's still there. Chaves is nice, but I think Chaves has not been quite the same since his broken leg. I hope I am so wrong. So we'll see. And we have a youngster called Terrestrial, but he's quite young. I think he's 16. And wishing them the best. So we need to look at our prospects, nurture them, and hopefully, if I'm going to lose our prospect, we will lose them to Guyana. No offense to the Guyanese, but I'll have to start watching Guyanese football now, everybody but TTPFL because they're not on TV, except for when we've helped us out. So, well, that is, expect Guyana to keep on being a force in regional sport. Sports tourism, it's been said for more than a decade now, sports tourism can help Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. I want to tell you all about the last 6 weeks, the last 4 or 5 weeks, and the next upcoming week. I just did some quick math here, and I made sure to be conservative because I wanted people to appreciate this. CFU Shield Tournament, under 15 girls CFU tournament, the recent series ODI with Pakistan. Okay, the CFU Shield Tournament had 24 teams. Let us minus host Trinidad. 23 teams at an average of 22 people. A team is about 506 people, spending an average of 150 US a day in Trinidad, which is again conservative. Ladies and gentlemen, that is about 76,000 by an average of 7 days in the country. Some spend longer. I rounded this off to 532,000 US dollars. The under 15 girls has 22 teams in the country. 2 are from Trinidad because Haiti dropped out. So 20 teams again, going by 22 people and multiplying that by an average of 150 US a day for 7 days, we're looking at 462,000 US. A little less than $1 million. Now, if you take the cricket team, again, cricket team about 22 people. I'm not including journalists. I am not including fans or anybody else, all right? The cricket team, roughly about 22 people in the contingent, spending an average of 2 to 3 days in the country. Again, 150 US a day, looking at about 12,000 US. This is a little over $1 million US. Now, that is well over 900 people who came to the country. Again, I was conservative, huh? No journalists, no family, no friends, fans. If you had gotten 200 to take the last leg to Trinidad and Tobago at an average of 500 US a ticket, that works out to 100,000. That works out a little over 1.1 million US, which is not bad for a 5-6 week period. It's not bad at all. Sports tourism is very helpful. It's up to us to know what we're doing and to exercise it properly. The Barbadians do a wonderful job. The Guyanese are doing it right now. The Jamaicans do it. We have to make sure we don't do this by flukes. And we also have Tobago. We could, lure them in with the, Tobago, the nice islands, the nice serene lifestyle, and plan some sport one time. The foreigners like to hear this, especially the white man when they live in winter. That's what they want to see. You think they want to see Port of Spain? No, they want to see the big, nice beaches and watch some sport. So, well done, Trinidad and Tobago. That was some good sports tourism. Looking for a lot more in the next 12 months. And okay, so now next week, Defence Force, the flagship of Trinidad and Tobago, they begin their Caribbean Cup tournament. They're playing against the Haitians, Juventus de Cais, whatever. Of course, they've just lost 2 players, Rian Moore and Justin Garcia. But if a club has depth in Trinidad and Tobago, it is Defence Force. And maybe they'll reel in some new players. I don't know. We'll have to find out. I'm wishing Defence Force nothing but the best. I want to see TNT football do well. I believe Central FC is the other team. So wishing Defence Force, that game is on a Thursday. It is on the 21st of August at 8 p.m. at Heasley Crawford Stadium. If you guys are around, go support Defence Force. This is TNT football. Wishing Defence Force nothing but the best. And of course, in early September, pardon me, I don't have my notes, but I think it's September 5th, but in early September, Trinidad and Tobago plays their first World Cup qualifier against Curacao. It's against Curacao at home. We got to win this. We could talk about that a lot more just before and just after those imminent games. So this is it. This is TNT Sport. This is what's been going on. Some ups, some downs, but what are you going to do? This is the story of our life. So wishing Defence Force the best. God bless Trinidad and Tobago football. God bless Defence Force. Hey, God bless me too.